Everybody knows that Croatia can produce some of the world's best footballers. All you need to do is take a look at Luka Modric, for example. However, in this video, we're going to take a look at 5 clubs who have the possibility to produce some of the best Croatian footballers you will have ever seen. And we're not talking about Dynamo either. Now, one club that you might not expect to be very good at producing decent young footballers is NK Kostasica Zagreb. Sure, if you want to hear me pronounce or mispronounce things wrong, stick with this video. They are a 3rd division side in Croatia after 5 seasons, and I don't think they're actually any higher than that at the start, but they do have the possibility to produce some pretty good players. Now, I've done 5 different simulations of 5 seasons, and Kostasica, still not sure if that's right at all, it probably isn't even close, have managed to produce every single simulation at least one player with 120 potential or higher, which does not sound great, but some seasons they actually managed to produce more than one. This is an example where they produce actually 3 players. We've got Gerard Jedvaj, who has 123 potential, and he is the worst of the 3 players that we're going to take a look at. With 129 potential, we have Ilan Zrinskac. Probably all of these names are going to be pronounced wrong, and he has 129 potential. And finally, at the top of the list with 137 potential, we have Alan Modric, who is 19 years of age. He's actually Bosnian. He's moved over to Dinamo already. I think he's not even part Croatian. Fair enough, he's just Bosnian. But yeah, he is one of the best players that have come through this Kostasica team. But they do this pretty much every season. There is a chance that they'll get somebody half decent come through, so they're not a bad team to take a look at. Lokomotiva Zagreb, or Lokomotiva if you want to just search for that, are probably one of the top 5 or 6 teams in Croatia at the start of a game, and I think because of their location just in the country in general, they are in Zagreb, so they are going to have a massive selection of players that they could potentially pick up. Obviously, lots of other clubs are in Zagreb as well. Lokomotiva are one of them. In this save, they managed to produce 14 players with the 120 potential or higher. We've got Carlo Igor Grafina, who has 122 potential. A right back, not amazing, but still, he's got some potential there. Skipping over a lot of the 120 potential players, I think there was about 9 of them between 122 and 130. This is the best of the 120s, which is Adrian Buterak, has 129 potential ability, defensive midfielder, maybe more central if you want him to be, arguably not, because he's got 14 tackling and he can't pass very well. Potentially might even be a centre-back. 5 players have come through Lokomotiva with 130 or above. We have Tomislav Saric with 133 potential. Left-back, who actually could be kind of moved up to a more sort of central midfield position if you really wanted to. He kind of can do that role in my opinion. With 134 potential, Adriano Branilovic, who is a left winger who looks very, very good at the moment. He's already playing 28 times for the Lokomotiva first team. And obviously, as I said, they are one of the best clubs in Croatia. So getting into the first team at just 19 years of age and playing 28 times, he's very good. With 135 potential ability, we have Kosovan international Bajram Sevelli, who's played a couple of times for the first team. He's a left winger and striker. I'm not quite sure what position I'd play him. Arguably, he doesn't look very good. He might be one of the stereotypical late bloomers. With 136 potential ability, we have striker Ivor Hasicic. Probably not his name. Hasicic? Maybe. Could be. He looks very good. With his 15 finishing, he's also got 11 composure, which isn't amazing, but it's pretty good. Concentration of 3. Not ideal for a striker, but as we know, got a fair amount of potential ability, and he's not massively expensive either. Somebody who already looks very, very good, and that is because he has 130 current ability, is Blaz Zanchi. He also has 138 potential ability. He's arguably on the fringes of the Croatia national side at just 19 years of age. Very good looking goalkeeper. Still got some room to grow. He's wanted by AC Milan, Juventus, Napoli, and Porto, so he is certainly going places. And at the top of the pile for Lokomotiva, by a fair distance as well, is Fran Roko Zajac, who has 178 potential ability at just 15 years of age. He's already good enough to arguably get into their first team at 15 years old, and we know with that high potential, he's going to be a world-class footballer, definitely getting capped for Croatia, definitely not staying with Lokomotiva for much longer than maybe 2 or 3 years, probably moving over to Italy. Hajduk, much like Lokomotiva, are one of the best clubs in Croatian football history, arguably. Founded in 1911, in this save they have produced no less than 19 players with 120 potential or higher, and I think about 14 of them have 130 potential or higher as well. At the low end, you have players like Dante Grabasic, who has 123 potential ability, central midfielder. I think he's got 101 current ability. Doesn't look particularly bad at 18 years of age. You've also got Luka Sudar with 126 potential ability. He looks quite good as well. Moving into the 130s and above potential ability, we have Ivan Pejic, who is actually an Italian and Croatian striker with 133 potential ability. He looks very, very good, but that one concentration is appalling. Can you train that out of anybody? Is that even possible? With 135 potential ability, we have Franco Luasic, maybe could be his name. Looks actually very good, 19 years of age, already playing first team football for Hajduk as well, getting 3 goals. With 136 potential ability and 100 current ability is Bozenko Battarello, which is a great name. He's spent a season out on loan by the looks of it and didn't kick a single ball, but we know the potential is definitely there. Also with 136 potential ability, we have Gregor Malencia, who is just Croatian. I would have thought he might have been like part Spanish or something like that, but no, he's just Croatian. He is a central midfielder, attacking midfielder, right winger, and right wing back, who's very angry with 18 aggression. And the final player with 136 potential ability is Tomislav Nasinovic, 19 years of age, goalkeeper, not very good at the moment, probably needs to get some first team football, maybe going out on loan to a team where he's definitely going to get that is certainly going to help, but 19 years of age for a goalkeeper, goalkeepers complain till they're like 45, it's fine. With 139 potential ability, we have Zancarlo Sinotti, a Croatian defensive midfielder, central midfielder. Looks actually very, very good at the moment. Spent a season out on loan at Solid. I say out on loan, they might be like a feeder club or like their young team. I know some teams in various countries do have that, but Sinotti obviously looks pretty good at the moment, and in a few years' time will be definitely very good. Probably good enough to play for Croatia, in my opinion. And somebody who will be definitely playing for Croatia is Piero Dakovic, who is a 19-year-old central defender, 2 under-21s caps at the moment, but with 146 potential ability. Dakovic is definitely going to be going places, and by places I mean probably playing for Italy, because a lot of players from Croatia who are any good signed for the big Italian clubs. And at the top of the pile, we have Vencel Budalic, who is a 17-year-old attacking midfielder who looks very, very good at the moment, and he will get much, much better in the future as well, because he has 167 potential ability. And in a different world and a different simulation, Hajduk actually managed to produce one of the best footballers in the world. Nikola Tankovic has 189 potential ability. At 17 years of age, he already looks very, very good. 15 first-team appearances as well. Tankovic is going to be world-class. Rijeka are a team that are very up and down when it comes to producing young players who are very, very good. We've had some simulations, so I do 5 simulations of 5 seasons each. Some of those simulations, they have been absolutely awful, and some of them, they've actually produced a decent amount of players, and some, they've produced literally like 7 players who are any good, and then 1 absolute superstar, and this is kind of an example of that. There are 7 players with 120 to 140 potential ability that have come through. Mario Latman is a 15-year-old striker. He's got 122 potential ability. I mean, he's good. He's 15. He's got plenty of time. We've also got Marco Matralan, who has 126 potential ability, but 101 current ability, so he's already looking pretty good. Should be playing first-team football for Rijeka, and he actually is doing that. He's played a season as well on loan at Sibonek, playing 14, scoring 7. And in the similar vein, we have Ezio Perasuco. Probably not how it's said at all, but that's what we're going to go with. He's got 122 current ability and 128 potential ability, so he's actually very, very close to as good as he's going to get, but he looks good. If I found this player at 18 years of age, I would go, you know what, he might be worth a punt, because he looks good now, and maybe in the future he's definitely going to get better. Obviously, we know, because we're kind of cheating, he isn't, but he looks good at the moment. We also have Giuliano Perasuco, who I don't think is any relation to the last mate. No relation whatsoever, but he has 134 potential ability, slightly older than his namesake as well, but not quite as good, but obviously he has that higher ceiling. Mentally, he does look quite good. I'd be tempted to chuck a little bit of money at this guy. For 220,000, if you've got that spare, it's worth a risk. With 134 potential ability, we also have Giuliano Bucchetta. Why are we getting lots of repeating names? I don't quite know, but at 16 years of age, he looks quite good. I don't know who he's wanted by. My guess is AC Milan. It's normally an Italian team. It's Orient on loan. it's not AC Milan. But obviously, 16 years of age, actually looks quite good now. Got some decent technical numbers too. With 142 potential ability, we have Marko Perisic, an 18-year-old defensive midfielder, 35 appearances for the Rijeka first team at just 18, 621 caps as well. He looks very good at the moment because his current ability is about 123. So he's already well on his way to reaching his peak. But Perisic obviously looks very, very good. And it's not a massive amount of money really to buy him either. But the main event for this Rijeka simulation is Luka Srentic. Not even close to his name, is it? But with 172 potential ability, the left wing back definitely needs to be retrained to be a more useful position, but obviously he is going to be very, very good. Would you retrain him as a left back, or would you retrain him as maybe a central midfielder, or any position, maybe a winger, maybe a striker? 5 finishing, probably not so much. Definitely not a centre-back at 5'9". In another world and another simulation, Rijeka also managed to produce a man called Baldo Visic, who's got shin splints currently in the age of 16. His current ability is about 80-something. Mentally looks very, very good. Potential ability-wise is 180 for Visic. The problem was he was the only good player in the course of 5 seasons. So, basically, what I'm saying with Rijeka, check them out, but don't be surprised if they've got nobody good. Much like some of the other clubs in this video, Osijek are one of the better teams in Croatian football, and in this simulation, they are the only team that seems to produce 130 potential or higher consistently. And by consistently, every single season that I managed to do, or every 5-season simulation I did, they had at least 6 players with 130 potential or higher. Some of the other teams barely had any with 130 or higher in some of the simulations. Osijek guaranteed pretty much to have 130 or higher, including players like Goran Krizanovic, a 20-year-old attacking midfielder with 130 potential. Looks very good mentally. Technically, he's got some very good numbers and also got some very bad numbers, but maybe just don't let him take throws, free kicks and penalties. With 131 potential ability, we have Antonio Jurovic, who is an 18-year-old central defender. I like the look of him, and for just up to potentially £650,000, he's probably worth a punt. With 132 potential ability and 128 current ability, we have AC Milan striker Marko Babic, 19 years of age, 8 under 21 caps, no caps for the first team just yet. I assume he went to AC Milan and then immediately got loaned back to Osijek. So he's played 93 times for Osijek, scoring 31 goals. Very, very good striker. But because we know his potential and his ceiling, we know he's actually quite close to that. But if you didn't know that, he could be a good bit of money. Also with 132 potential ability, we have Nikola Kuprasak, who is a striker, left winger, right winger, defensive midfielder. It's a weird collection of positions. You're definitely not a defensive midfielder. You've got 1 tackling. With 133 potential ability, we have Dario Babic, who is a striker. I don't know if he's any relation to the last guy who went to AC Milan. Does not look like it. We just get lots of repeat names in Croatia, apparently. With 137 potential ability, we have Zlatko Kalava, who is a defensive midfielder, central midfielder, maybe a centre-back, but at 5'11", maybe he's not a centre-back. Looks very, very good for the future. And then Osijek managed to produce not 1 player with 159 potential ability, but 2 players with 159 potential ability. We have Saud Siljak, probably not how it's pronounced, but we're going to go with it. A striker and right winger. 11 finishing isn't particularly encouraging, but we know the potential is obviously there, and at 15 years of age, plenty of time to grow. And for a 15-year-old right now, he doesn't look awful, does he? Definitely does not look bad. And the other player with 159 potential ability is Ivan Malavan, who currently has 131 current ability. That is why he looks very, very good. A left back, maybe left midfielder if you really wanted to. He looks very good. I always struggle to find fullbacks. This is the type of player that I'm there going, I'd buy him, because especially if he's got potential ability, I'd want to go for that. He's wanted by all the big boys: Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, PSG, AC Milan, Inter and Juventus. So Malavan is not going to be sticking around in Croatia for too much longer, and he's going to be getting his big move to one of the European giants. From one nation where I can't pronounce players' names to another, maybe Turkey is where you want to be going to try and find yourself some very good young footballers, because there are some clubs over there that certainly do manage to produce them.